Because I was a pastor, and we felt like the Lord said, "Hey, like lay this down. You guys are going to go back into missions." And
Mm.
so we joined an organization where they don't pay you. And so what I have to do is actually raise support between people we know and other churches around the world to go and do the thing that I do. So I raise my own salary, which is kind of a funny thing for me because I've never done that before.
Mm.
And that actually was a real turning point in my life because there was this moment before we stepped into this where I was kind of journaling and I was asking the Lord, like, how can I keep the house? Trying to like figure it out on my own
Mm.
and thinking like the best way is to figure out how to keep the house, rent it out, get the mortgage paid off, and then this thing will make us money. It's in Tustin, it's been remodeled, it's a beautiful home. I think the wise thing is to keep the house. And then as I was journaling, I literally wrote these words and I realized this was not me. I wrote, "Do you
Mm.
think you can take care of your family better than me?"
Mm.
And that was kind of like a stab to the heart because in the moment I couldn't think of any other way that was better to take care of our family. I was raised to work hard, provide for my family. When I met my wife, I was
Yeah.
working in construction. Um, and so I'm like, pound the pavement, figure it out, provide. And I just had to like have a moment of honesty with the Lord and say, my flesh says I can do better. What I know is true is that you can provide for my family better than anything I could ever do.
Mm-hmm.
And that I had to surrender in that moment the control to be the one that makes it all happen and just submit to God's leading in that. And so, yeah, now it's crazy because now I travel the world. Like even just right now, I've already done 15 plus flights around the world from January until today.
Dang.
And I go and preach the gospel. I teach on songwriting. I teach on like worship leadership and how to lead teams. And I go lead worship around the world. And honestly, the Lord has completely provided for all of those things. So I really had to change like my mindset of
Mm.
like, how do I provide for my family? The way I provide for my family now is by being so intentional with the Lord so that I can obey him as faithfully as possible so that I can see like I can't really find any like identity in how much money I make or any of that because
Mm-hmm.
it's like it's all like the Lord bringing it. It comes and it goes every month. It changes all the time, and at the end of the year, God provided. And so now I really kind of view everything I do through fruitfulness. Like, what kind of fruit do I see remaining after I've
Mm.
done the job that I was meant to do? So yeah, yeah,
Dude, I love it. So, as you're sharing, I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to ask this question. I'm going to ask this question or that question. Because sometimes when I have these conversations, it's like, okay, on the one hand, I'm out like just working to strike gold on my own, right? I get the skills,
mm,
I go out, I figure it out.
yeah,
And then on the other hand, I'm like, I'm just going to kind of sit here on the couch and just like, God's going to make sure there's food in the fridge for us. Right. And so,
yeah,
I
yeah,
was going to ask you, where's the
yeah,
balance for you? Cause you still got to write the letter. You still got to drop it. You still got to make a phone call. But what I'm hearing, and I think this is some of the stuff God's working on with me personally as a tend to control is what I wrote down is you get intentional with the Lord and
yeah,
then you obey what he says.
yeah,
And then here's like the frustrating thing. And you could look at Moses, you could look at Abraham, you could look at David, all these cats who they did that, but then they turned the freaking thing into a formula, right? It's
yeah,
like
yeah,
Moses is like, well, you had me strike the rock last time, so I'm going to strike it this time. And God's like, well, nope, it's not, this relationship ain't a formula. And I think
mm-mm,
that's where I can get stuck is like, I turn it into a formula, if this, then that. And sheesh, I probably do that in a lot of areas. But as
yes,
you say it, it's like this constant intentional with the Lord and then do what you hear him say.